Hey everybody, it's Miss Donna here again, and today I don't want to go over any particular service today, but what this is all about is about the sectioning, because it's so crucial in chemicals and in the permanent wave service. Okay, so oftentimes we get a little sloppy and we develop bad habits with our sectioning, and there is a particular way that State Board wants to see your section, and if it's not that way, you will lose that point. So I wanted to go over exactly how I think your doll should be sectioned and the way that you will get a perfect score on it. You'll see that for practice purposes and for this, you'll see that my doll is undraped. You don't need to drape your doll when you do this. I just want you to practice your sectioning so that you can get it down and get it down quickly and accurately. And don't worry about your draping at this particular point. We're just going over the exercise of sectioning for chemicals and sectioning for perm. Okay, so if you take a look at the doll here, you see how I have that there in the center of the head going back to the apex. Okay, and then continuing on down to the back of the head there, down to where that little divot is in the back of her nape. That is the center of the doll there. So you want to come all the way down the center there, and then you're side to side on your ears. See how these two bottom points here are approximately even, and that line there is straight up and down. If you when you make your part there, let me see, how's that? There you go. If you lay your comb up alongside that parting and you see that it is straight up and down, okay, then you know that you have it accurate. And if these 2 points here are approximately even, then you are correct, okay? If your comb, when you lay it alongside that parting, is going a little bit on an angle, this way or that way, or it looks like a dog's hind leg, okay, you're wrong, okay? That would be wrong. And the same on the other side. You see how these 2 points are approximately even, okay? One cool trick, I forgot my all-purpose comb, but with an all-purpose comb, a good way to find the apex is to just take where your all-purpose comb splits between these fine teeth and the larger teeth. If you lay that all-purpose comb right there in the center of her forehead, okay, and bring it on back like so, right where the teeth split is where you should do your parting. Isn't that a cool trick? That's why I love this Deborah doll so much. She's got so many little, what I call cheat points, that it makes it easy for you to do your State Board. Other brand dolls are, they might have too much hair. The side of the head is just a little bit wonky, where you got to go back so far in order to get that perfect line across the top of the head that it just looks weird. Okay, that's what I love about the Deborah doll. Now that would be for your chemicals. You notice how I've got my clips here, okay, right there. You see how I got them probably a little bit, probably opposite the way that you would do yours. Like, see in the back how I have them going straight up and down? Here on the chemicals, or on the side of the head, because that's where I suggest that you do your 2 relaxer sections, because it's less hair there, okay, and it's so much easier rather than the back of the head where you've got to follow the round of the head, which is fine to demonstrate your skill, okay. However, they're not looking at your skill, they're looking at your accuracy and they're looking at your speed, okay. And if you don't get your accuracy down and your speed down for your virgin relaxer and your relaxer retouch, it's easiest to do it on your sides, okay. You just have to remember in the fringe area that you need to follow the curve of the head as well, okay. And the reason I have it here have these clips like this is because you're going to do your virgin relaxer first, okay? After you do your foils, then they're going to move on to virgin relaxer. So if I take this down and I take my 1/2 inch subsection and I apply my product from a 1/2 inch from the scalp, following the curve of the head, all the way out to 1 inch from hair ends, all the way to about there, okay? Can you see that in the video? I can't tell on my camera, but I hope that you can see it on the video, okay? If I've got all this slathered with product and I'm smoothing it as I go, because they want to see you demonstrate smoothing, and you lay it over here when you've got your clip like this, that gel is going to saturate the hair over here, okay? Whereas if you've got it turned this way, you can lay that subsection on that clippy, like so, and it will not touch the hair, okay? So that way you're not going to get gel on the hair that you're doing your retouch on, where you don't want the gel, because you can only have gel on the first 2 inches. Does that make sense to you? Okay, now you can do your relaxer and your do your chemicals and your blow dry and Marcel iron on any section that you wish. I suggest that you do it here and here for the chemicals. It's the very last service that you're going to be doing, okay? I suggest that you do your blow dry in this area, only because I know that this area is easiest for right-handers. If you're left-handed, you might want to do it on this side, okay? And then right after the blow dry, I believe, is the, I think that's where the chemicals come in, okay? So it makes it much easier for you to do it that way. So if you have any questions on the sectioning, please put them in the comments, okay, or message me directly. That would be fine. You can email me directly at donna@ctbcbeauty.org, or just put it in the comments, and the comments section, the Classroom app just sends it directly to me as a Gmail, letting me know that you made a comment, okay? So I'm looking for your activity in there, and from here, I want to go on to showing you the sectioning for the perm. The perm sectioning, that takes a lot of practice for many people, okay? So I'm going to take this gal down here, like so, and come back here to this. She's a little bit high for me right now, so I'm working with my shoulders up. Your section for your perm, okay, I didn't pre-make a doll for this one, so I'm just going to do it here in front of you so that you can see what it is that I'm doing, okay? Hopefully you'll be able to see this, okay? So your section for your perm, your directions in your perm say to section the doll for to wrap your perm in. They want you to create a section from the crown to the nape. So your section has to be complete right just behind the apex. Okay, so you don't have to do it right at the apex. You can come back just a tad bit, but only a tad bit, like maybe about a 1/2 inch or so. You want that beginning of that section to be kind of kissing the crown, but not all the way up into the crown. Does that make sense to you? So I always suggest that you part that doll on the right-hand side for right-handers and left-hand side for left-handers. It just makes it easier to find where does that break begin, where does that crown begin, okay? One of the most important things when you are sectioning for that perm is to keep that hair clipped out of her face. That is a safety issue, and you will get dinged for it if you leave that hair hanging straight down in her face like this. If you just create it like that and you've got the hair hanging down like this, that shows that you're not caring about your customer safety and comfort, okay? And you will get dinged for it. So let's not do that. So when you part her on the right, it doesn't have to be a clean part, it's okay. Just part her on the right so that you come back to where your permanent wave rod is going to start on this side, on the right hand side of her head, okay? Do that. Stick a clip in it for the time being, so you've got the entire back open like that. Now, you would take your permanent wave rod to measure it if you would like. You don't need to. If you can eyeball it yourself, that's great. Or you can just lay your perm rod up there in the center of the head so you can figure out where to begin. That's why I say to do it to part her on the right or on the left for left-handers, because that shows you exactly where to begin. So then we're going to come straight down, and it'll feel like you're doing a bell because of the way that the hair or the head is shaped. When it ducks under there at the occipital, your hand will tend to go, it's very hard to do this on dry hair, by the way, okay? Your hand tends to go in on an angle like that because of the way that the head ducks under. So you kind of want to force your hand to stay wide and straight. Keep that elbow straight. Don't let that elbow come in, okay? And then just stick a clip in that hair there just to get it out of your way. And come on over here to the other side and do the same thing. And clip that hair out of the way. And then take a look at your section. An easy way to take a look at your section is to wrap it really, really tight, like so. Okay, now you can see that I'm a little bit off over here. So, what I want to do, because remember your center is that little divot in the back of her neck. What I want to do is come down and just redraw that parting. Stick that hair over there to see if I've got it right yet. And take a look at where I'm a little bit wide or a little bit narrow. There we go. That looks a little bit wide right here. So I'm going to take that hair off. Stick it over there. On wet hair, it's much easier. And then I take a look at this side. You see how that goes there? And down here, you're going to be approximately 1.5 inches on either side of that divot down there. That point in the back of her neck. Once I think I've got it, then I'm going to draw it tight again just to examine it and see where I'm a little bit off, okay? Because when I draw it tight, I can see it. There we go. Put that into there. There we go. Now you notice I'm not clipping it in any particular manner. I'm not trying to tie it up real tight inside of the clip and so on and so forth. I'm just trying to get it out of my way. And that is perfectly fine during the perm, okay? So now you can see that I've got a little white spot right there, or a narrow spot right there. There we go. Okay, now I've got my section perfect, and I can begin my wrap with the 6 permanent wave rods. You want to do 6 consecutive rods anywhere in this section. I suggest that you start at the top, but if the top part is you would rather do it like right in here, that's fine too. All you need to do is just take this part from your section that you're wrapping. You have to isolate the section that you are wrapping and clip all the other hair out of the way. So I can go like this from my section and put another clip there to show that that is part of my section, okay? It's part of my section, but it is not the part that I want to wrap, okay? I want to wrap right here because it's easier, okay? Rather than on the top of the head. Sometimes those perm rods tend to like pop up on you because of the way that they sew in the hair sometimes. So if that happens on your doll, then be smart and take out a little section and come down here and wrap your 6 rods, okay? Remember when you wrap your 6 rods that they have to be, the hair has to be spread evenly across your subsection. End papers beyond hair ends. Your subsection has to be the size of your rod, and you're going to wrap it with even tension and correct band placement, and you're going to maintain base control. What that means, maintaining base control, that means your rods are either all on base or all half base. If they're mixed, you're going to lose that point for wrapping the rods, okay? And if you have any part of that description that I just gave you a little bit off on any of the rods that they check, then you're going to lose that point, okay? So there's a lot that goes into correctly wraps the rods, or whatever that task line says there. I don't have my task line in front of me, but you know, you can take a look at that for when you practice wrapping your rods, okay? For right now, all I want you to do is practice sectioning into 4 and sectioning for your perm. And for your assignment, what I want you to do is snap a picture of your section and upload it into assignments for me, and I'll take a look at what's going on with it. It's not for a grade or anything. It's for me to help you out if you're having difficulty hitting perfection, okay? Because that's what's going to get you through your state board. I'm here as your coach, not as your instructor, as your grader, rater, whatever. Right now, I'm just coaching you to get you to perfection and to get you there fast. And the way that I can get you there fast and get you to be fast, my magnetic bracelet keeps catching on this, is to practice it. You have to practice. If you don't practice, you will not be fast, and you'll be fumbling on the day of your state board. And there'll be enough anxiety that day. The more you practice, the less anxiety you're going to have, and you'll get through your board exam quite easily, okay? Well, maybe not easily, but you won't have a heart attack or a panic attack, okay? It'll be much easier for you. You'll score well. Practice is everything. You saw on my first video all the different bloopers that I made. I said find the blooper. Well, there were quite a few of them, weren't there? That demonstrates how much planning and practice has to go into doing these procedures, okay? Because I didn't plan well enough to make my first video. I truly, honestly didn't. Okay? I thought I'd be able to do it easily enough. I do it in class every single week. It should be a piece of cake, right? Not for videoing. and this is all brand new to me, just like the online learning is new to you guys too. So you saw how many mistakes I made while I was trying to do it for the camera. And I was a little embarrassed about it, but I thought, well, let's just make lemonade out of it and make it fun. There are going to be bloopers in just about every video, and I challenge you to find them and name them for me. And whoever can name them for me is going to win something for their kit. Okay? We already have a winner from my pre-exam setup video. In fact, two of them, they sent their message in at the same time. And it was where I tore that tape with my mouth. It was like a, oh no, she didn't moment, you know. But that tells you exactly what happens when you're flustered and you don't plan properly, you don't have the right tool with you. All those different things go into properly preparing for your state board exam. So you can see how I'm doing as an instructor, trying to learn how to video my tutorials for you to learn, and the different mistakes that I'm making because of the lack of practice in front of the camera. Okay, so we just want to have fun with this as long as you're learning at the same time. Okay, so that's really all I've got for you today. What I want you to do by Sunday, upload a picture of your 4 sections and your permanent wave section. The thing with the permanent waving section, the primary thing is you've got about 5 to 8 minutes of the, 20 minutes they give you, 22 minutes they give you for the permanent wave. You have about 5 to 8 minutes to open up your cabinet, take out your bag, EPA your station, throw away your towel, open your bag, set up your supplies, and drape and section your doll. Let me let that sink in for you a moment. About 8 minutes to do that. If you don't get it done within that first 5 to 8 minutes, then you don't have enough time to properly roll your permanent wave rods. Okay? If you're faster than that, that's great. I highly suggest that you train yourself to be complete with that, the entire service of permanent wave, where you step back with your mock waving lotion in your hand and raise your hand to demonstrate that you're ready to demonstrate the application of your waving lotion and your chest curl. And we'll go over that on another video. But for now, you want to train yourself to be done inside of 15 minutes because you're doing this coming right out of haircut. Haircut is usually a high pressure situation for most candidates. That's been my experience in the 14, 15 years I've been doing the PSI State Board, that the haircut is what threatens people the most and gives them the most anxiety. And so your head is going to be talking to you about your haircut while you're trying to do your perm, and that's going to slow you down. So you need to have trained yourself to be faster than they allow so that you are done in time. Because the worst thing you could do is not be finished in time. Okay? Because you're going to lose every task line that you do not complete, you lose those points. And my whole philosophy in training for State Board is to help you conserve as many points as possible. Okay? It has nothing to do with how great a stylist you are. This is about demonstrating that you know how to do it safely and you know how to follow direction and you can read instructions. That's what your State Board is all about. It's, you know, when you do your behind the chair work, it doesn't have a whole lot of resemblance to what you're doing at State Board outside of your basic sanitation. Okay, so I just want to see you practicing this to get it down fast so that you can be successful on your State Board exam. So practice, practice, practice. Okay, and I'll be looking for those photos in the comments section between now and Sunday. Sunday night, midnight. I want them to be uploaded by then. Okay, thank you so much, everybody.